The cover-up gets deeper. Harry Litman, Donald Trump trying to cover up his dark past. Of course, we all know that in the past, Donald Trump had tons and tons of links with Epstein. I mean, Donald Trump was friends with him, said he was a great guy, all over the flight logs, on the phone logs, in deposition transcripts that were released. Virginia Giuffre, who was trafficked by Epstein, was found at Mar-a-Lago when she was an underage girl working there. I could go on and on. I have in a lot of other videos. But Donald Trump's main criminal defense lawyer, back in the New York criminal case against him, where he was convicted on 34 felony counts. You attended that trial. Trump's lead lawyer was Todd Blanche. His other lawyer was that guy, Emile Beauvais, and he had a bigger team. Both Blanche and Beauvais got major roles, like the number 2 and 3, basically, at the Justice Department under Pam Bondi. Everybody remembers that Pam Bondi got the job because Matt Gaetz was pushed out when the MAGA Republicans released the ethics report, and Gaetz left. So Trump's top criminal defense lawyer, whose job is to help Donald Trump avoid criminal prosecutions or avoid being convicted. He lost that trial. Gets the number 2 deputy attorney general at the most powerful job pretty much in the Department of Justice. And what's one of his main acts? Trump's criminal defense lawyer to the DOJ. He's the guy who writes the Epstein report, saying that there's nothing to see here. There's no Epstein list. It never, ever even existed. And there's no Epstein files we're going to release. Case closed. See you later. Stop asking about Epstein. Let's not forget how deep this cover-up goes. That was Trump's criminal defense lawyer who wrote the memo. How do I know this? Because people are going to say, come on, really? His criminal defense lawyer becomes the number 2 at the DOJ. Then Trump makes that guy the guy who says the Epstein files don't exist. Well, let's just take a look at what Todd Blanche said. I worked closely, he says, with FBI Director Kash Patel and FBI Deputy Director Bongino on the joint FBI and DOJ memo regarding the Epstein files. All of us signed off on the contents of the memo and the conclusion stated in the memo. The suggestion by anyone that there was any daylight between the FBI and DOJ leadership on this memo's composition and release is patently false. Harry Litman, who would say that there's daylight between the DOJ and the FBI's position? How about the FBI, Bongino and Kash Patel? Bongino didn't show up to work on Friday. He's been so distressed about this DOJ memo saying that the Epstein files don't exist. Bongino's like, I'm out. I'm not showing up to work in protest of what was going down. Lots of people are saying Bongino is out or he's about to leave. Kash Patel, people are saying that Kash is saying it's either Bondi or me. Get rid of Pam Bondi. They're making her the scapegoat. But look under the hood a little bit more, because it's Bondi, it's Blanche, it's Emile Beauvais. It's this whole, I guess I'll use the word of MAGA, cabal right here, a real one that's taking place. So just so you all remember Blanche, here he is right here. Right after the criminal trial was over and Trump was convicted. And just so you see, like, reminder of who Blanche was, Waters asked him, how involved was Trump in his own criminal defense? And watch what Blanche said during the criminal trial. Let's play it.
How involved was Donald Trump in his own defense?
I mean, what do you think? I mean, very involved. And he's a smart guy. He knows what he's doing. He jokingly said to us a lot, sometimes he wanted to be the litigator. You know, he wanted to be the one that was actually arguing, because he's a smart guy and he knows what he's doing. We made every decision together. We did. And there were things that he was frustrated with. You know, the judge several months ago, there was we wanted to be able to argue reliance of counsel, that to some extent President Trump was relying on his lawyer, and the judge didn't allow us to do that, and things like that, where he would really push us and say, well, why can't we do this? Why can't we do that? It was an honor for me to spend the last 6 weeks with him, defending him.
But I guess when you're the president, they just let you get away with it. Who is Kaiser Soze? I mean, it's staring us right in the face, Harry. One other thing I want to show you, then I got to get your take. So that's Trump's criminal defense lawyer turned number 2 at the Department of Justice. What about Alan Dershowitz? So Dershowitz represented Epstein and Dershowitz represented Trump. So you would think that this guy knows whether or not these files exist or not. Here's what Dershowitz had to say. Let's play it.
So let me tell you, I know for a fact documents are being suppressed, and they're being suppressed to protect individuals. I know the names of the individuals. I know why they're being suppressed. I know who's suppressing them, but I'm bound by confidentiality from a judge and cases.
Harry, you come on. When you put it together like that, come on. Oh, and by the way, the metadata on the surveillance footage was apparently highly suspicious and scrubbed as well. That Wired is reporting outside of Epstein's prison cell. Make some sense of this, because Blanche and Emile Beauvais, you and I have been talking about them and other things also, and Bondi. This is what's going to break the camel's back.
So it would appear. And look, man, I want to try to make sense of it at even a broader level. Remember, who is Bongino? He's the guy, once they choose Kash Patel, FBI rank and file is up in arms and say, but you must, having chosen this clown, put in a real FBI agent they promised to, then they broke their promise. He's just a Trump MAGA-ite. Who are these other figures? To me, this is all the sort of junior high or less, just nest of vipers that circulate around Donald Trump. Remember, think back to Trump 1.0. Is there anyone who maintained Trump's loyalty all the way through? No. What happens when you found a government based only on personal loyalty of this complete mercurial, self-centered man is infighting and all kinds of rivalries and who's in and who's out. That, to me, is the broader story that we all know. Now, in addition, this sort of MAGA version of it, where it's true. I'm surprised because I don't follow MAGA day in, day out. But this is the biggest controversy roiling MAGA now, the conviction that Pam Bondi and Todd Blanche are covering things up. And there's all this information that they know and we don't. Dershowitz, by the way, that was a nice little teaser. Oh, I'm going to tell. Oh, no, I'm not. You know, if he knows things in confidence. But to me, the whole thing speaks more than, about who did Epstein know, who's in the files. It speaks to the absolute kind of incompetence, immaturity, lack of any fidelity to the law that is the Trump Justice Department and is the Trump government. You're right. I was at that trial. I saw Todd Blanche. I know what his role is. We've seen what Bondi's role is, and we've sure as hell seen what Beauvais' role is. It's all to do what they think the boss says and put their fingers in the air. So it's certainly very plausible that they want to protect him here. But the main thing is, what kind of junior high government do we have, rather than anyone thinking about the law, the Constitution? This looks like there's such an immature group. It looks like this may be a train wreck in front of it. It's not like, previous attorneys general have resigned over principle or, fights with Congress. This is, who's doing this with the Epstein files and who, but it actually looks like somebody's got to go. You have CNN reporting it's going to be Bondi or it's going to be Bongino, and who is it? These guys are just a bunch of children, and they are serving the ultimate child and his childlike followers. That's what really comes home to me.
To me, it also ties into these text messages within the DOJ as well, from Blanche's right hand, also Emile Beauvais, who's got a top position at the DOJ, and all of that then goes up to Bondi. Let me just show people this video I think we've got of Pam Bondi at a recent hearing where the senators were asking her questions about, hey, if Emile Beauvais and others were saying F the judges, we don't follow the effing law here. Don't listen to the effing district court judges, and that's out there. Would you still support them? Here's what she said about them. Here, play this clip.
I just want you to confirm for this, you will not allow conduct like that at the DOJ? Yes or no?
I will always support and defend Emil Bovee, and I will defend Todd Blanche. They are two of the finest people I know, and two
I
of
was
the
asking
ethical
about the
people
conduct.
I know.
Let me keep going.
You see, no, Pam, you will always support and defend the Constitution. And if their conduct is criminal, if their conduct is unethical, or if their conduct violates the rules of the DOJ, you don't just always, I support them. That was such a telling moment in light of their conduct and in light of, again, I'll use the word one more time, the cabal that exists right there, where there is no respect for the law. If someone asked me or you that question, you would say, look, if they violated the law, I wouldn't support them. But you heard what she said.
I mean, it's a softball, right? But she's a friggin' train wreck anytime a microphone gets in front of her. She's an absolute ethical disaster. She'll say anything, and you really have the idea that she is just overmatched. She can get one little idea in her head as some talking point and say it again and again. No sense at all of what her role is as the nation's chief law enforcement officer. My God, you're so right, Ben. What could be a bigger softball? Will you support people saying, fuck you to judges? That's not a hard one, but I will always say, I mean, I shouldn't caricature her voice. I take that back, but she is a really completely over her head in the job, doesn't have the faintest sense of even how to pretend to be an attorney general. And she again and again really steps in it. Now, and we haven't talked more about the Bovee stuff. You know, he's coming up. This is the whistleblower stuff on him. It seems really very strong evidence that Bovee did exactly what the whistleblower said we may have to consider saying F you to the courts. Why do I say that? Because there are these emails that say, oops, we're at the F you moment. What that obviously, it seems to me very strongly harkens back. And then we already knew about his involvement in the alien stuff, but we find out more from the whistleblower, documented. He's got receipts that it's Bovee who basically says, once the planes are in the air, nothing to be done. That's a lie and it's false. It's Bovee who basically says, oh, we don't have to listen to an oral order. We'll wait till it's written. Complete crap, right? A judge's order is a judge's order. So he is so flagrantly on the, whatever I need to do for Trump. The one, there's, yes, the FU, but the vulgarity is even less than what the number one thing that really comes home to me. He said, those flights are going to El Salvador no matter what. That means if judges order not to do it, I don't give a shit. You send them anyway, which is exactly what happened. So you have a guy who's behaved incredibly inappropriately as the principal to the deputy attorney general, and to boot has not been candid with the Senate when he testified before. And man, oh man, the zombies on the Judiciary Committee, if the Republicans just let him go without any kind of questioning, a Third Circuit Court of Appeals judge, that's a serious indictment. I've done a lot of vetting in my day of judicial nominations. Not a friggin' chance somebody who had done these things wouldn't have their nomination withdrawn pronto.
Right. I mean, they wouldn't be hired at any level of a lemon law firm, yet alone to be the Third Circuit Court of Appeals judge, one of the most prominent judicial positions. So anyway,
I'm on the short list for the Supreme Court. Now, now that Trump has one factor only, right?
Everybody subscribe to the Talking Feds podcast, the Talking Feds Substack, and Talking Feds on YouTube. Just search Talking Feds on YouTube, hit subscribe. It's where I get my legal news from. Harry Litman, thank you as always.
Thank you as always, Ben.
Can't get enough Meidas? Check out the Meidas Plus Substack for ad-free articles, reports, podcasts, daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, and more. Sign up for free now at MeidasPlus.com.